So Niobe Labs is out, guys, and let me just say, it's been pretty crazy. You got a lot of different opinions going on out there right now. Some people are saying that it's really ridiculous how hard this puzzle is. Most people are actually enjoying it. You got people on the Reddit forums and Raid Secrets figuring it out, coming together, giving their thoughts and theories. You have a couple streamers out there streaming themselves, trying to solve this puzzle, people in their chats lending a hand. But then you have people on the internet who aren't even taking part. They're just kind of watching from a distance and giving their 2 cents, which to me is causing an issue. It's causing somewhat of a divide in the community, as we usually have. This is not anything new when it comes to Destiny. Anytime we get some type of challenging content, you have the people who work on the content, and then you have the people who talk about the content. Back when Outbreak Prime came out, how many people were actually able to lend their hands to figure that thing out? Not a lot, I'd assume, because that code itself had a lot of coding and all kinds of, I can't even get into it, but there was a lot of things in there that I had no idea even where to begin on how to solve. But it took a few people to figure that out, spread the answers across, and everybody was able to get their hands on Outbreak Prime. That's kind of been Destiny. We've been given challenges that, yeah, we as a community solve, but ultimately it is a few people who come together, who put their knowledge together to solve these puzzles, and then we all reap the benefits. It's always been the case. Since Destiny 1 and all the way through to Destiny 2, Destiny's become more mainstream. Anytime a raid comes out, what's the first thing that happens? A video goes up on YouTube, there's guides, and what do most people do? They watch them. We've always been using social media, YouTube, and just people in the community who want to share their ideas. We've been using them to make our way through Destiny content. And we don't even realize it. We're not the ones at the end of the day who figure out a lot of these tough puzzles, or figure out these raid encounters, or figure out strategies and stuff like that. A lot of times it is a few people who do figure it out. But ultimately, those people don't figure it out themselves either. It's other people below them in their chats, on forums and stuff like that. It is a community effort when people come together to figure things out. Currently, you can go on Twitch and watch a few streamers streaming here and there. But if you really pay attention to the streams, it's the chats who are giving them the information, who are pushing ideas onto the streamers. There are some trolls, yeah. But ultimately, it is a community effort. People coming together to figure out this puzzle, this Niobe Labs, that up to the time of recording still has not been solved. Today in Destiny, our community has gotten soft, if you really want to ask me. And I don't say that in a demeaning or condescending way. I say that truthfully, that from the time of Destiny 1, when content came out and it was difficult and challenging, I can remember vividly my team playing Vault of Glass. This is way before YouTube was ever a main part of Destiny, when people had to actually figure out encounters on their own. Raids were meant to be the activities that took you one reset to the next. That's the way they were made. And people loved Vault of Glass. If you ask anyone what was their favorite raid, a lot of people will say Vault of Glass because of how challenging it was. It wasn't a short raid. It wasn't a simple raid that was able to be done on day one. And there wasn't this world's first raid, which personally, in my opinion, I feel like has ruined raid content. The idea that there has to be a world's first and the raid is like a race to finish. The raid shouldn't be something that you want to finish on day one. Raid shouldn't be something that you sit around and wait for someone to make a guide on so you can easily just walk through without ever having to figure it out. That's not what raids should be. That's not what this content should be. They're meant to be challenging. Puzzles like Niobe Labs are meant to be challenging. It's gonna be figured out, but a lot of people are enraged because it wasn't able to be done on day one. A lot of people were enraged because when Black Armory launched, the forges were not able to be done on day one. You had to grind to level up Now, I agree. Should there have been maybe subsequent content to allow people to grind, or maybe allow people to get their light levels up a week before? Sure, I do not deny any of that stuff. And I'm not sitting here saying Destiny's a perfect game, there's nothing that they can improve. That's not the case that I'm trying to make. What I'm basically saying is, when difficult content comes out as a community, we've always faced that challenge. But I feel like as time has come along and YouTube has picked up and social media has picked up, we've just become more and more reliant on people completing the difficult task for us. We don't get our own hands dirty. How many of the people out there who are complaining today about how difficult Niobe Labs is, how many of them have actually sat down with their teams and used the information that's readily available to them and tried to figure it out? Instead of sitting by watching the same Twitch streamers and YouTubers and everyone out there streaming, big or small, how many people have been watching them saying that this content is made for them? This content wasn't made for them. They stream Destiny whether there's a puzzle going on or a challenge. They stream it regardless. That's irrelevant. They'll always stream Destiny because it's a game that they love. They're all playing the game right now, which is something that we should all be doing. We can all get in there and figure out the puzzle. Shoot, I don't even have a team to get in there and try it out, and I've tried to do it solo. But I'm still going online, sitting in people's chats, trying to look up information. This puzzle is something pretty daunting. It's still left to be said whether or not was it all worth it. We don't know. Everything that I'm commenting on right now is just the fact that Niobe Labs is out, the type of content that it is, and what people have been saying about it. I'm not commenting on whether it was worth it because we don't know. The door hasn't been opened. We don't know what's on the other side. We don't know what rewards we're going to be getting from this activity. Yeah, sure, we may get that 8-1 emblem, but is that going to be all that we get? We don't know. So I'm not going to sit up here with the expectation that by the end of this, we're not going to get anything anyway. So it was not all worth it. So it's trash. And Bungie this and Bungie that. I'm not going to do all of that because there's people out there right now who are playing this content. They may be a little bit frustrated because you know why? They've been up since yesterday. But that in itself is a cause for concern, and that's something to look at as a community. As gamers, we want to conquer all the challenges that come our way, but we also need to remember something. It's okay to try again later. It's okay to not be able to figure something out on day one and have to come back to it another day. How many times have you had to do that as a gamer? How many times have you been stumped by a challenge, a puzzle, or a level, and you've had to get off, sit down, reflect, and come back to it later? But now in the Destiny community, anytime a piece of content comes out and we can't do it immediately, or we can't get it done today, this second, in an hour, anytime that happens, we're up in arms. We're upset because we feel like Bungie is locking something away from us. It's a challenge, guys. It's a game. We've always been playing games. This is why we're here. This is why you're listening to this video. If you are up to this point, this is why you're still watching the video, because we're gamers. We love to game. We like these kind of things. So let's just stop all the bickering and the complaining and just come together and figure this puzzle out. And let's see if it was all worth it. I appreciate you guys watching the video. You know, if you disagree or if you agree, comment down below and just let me know. Let's just try to keep this conversation civil, because at the end of the day, it's just a conversation. Sure, it's just my opinion, but what's your opinion? Let me know down low. Drop a like if you guys like the video. Be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.